have a wee work coach called Holly. She didn't give me a job, like, but I tell you what, I got her number. Always empty, but now I'm feeling whole again. Always working, but now I'm on the dole again. I can tell you with a serious face that I'm overly delighted signing on in this place. Or something about it, you see it's very appealing. I don't know, it just gives me a good wee feeling. I've heard people describe it as if it's some tale, but personally speaking I think the place is unreal. It broke my heart like someone quitting figs for a favour when I was told you no longer even saying the paper. It's all online now, bet you didn't know that. And it's not just a spot I get my dough at. The sun is out shining, I can hardly comprehend. The joy I'm feeling right now is ever gonna end. If the dole was a bird, should be 10 out of 10 with an Umbro tracksuit and a 10 glass of cleanse.
Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Who'd have thought that I'd be working so long? Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. It wouldn't feel right if I didn't sign on.
Walk through the front door, guess who's back? It's twirly twirl in the house with the best new track. Receptionist lady, can you please direct me? Cause I've got a wee appointment and your eyes distract me. Just said,
first floor, don't skip it.
I said, you're a lovely wee woman, don't ever forget it. There's so many women in this world that I've seen, but none of them have ever had eyes so green. I dance up the stairs and I crack a wee smile, cause I haven't seen this fella in a long while. Along with a guard, he asked if I'm here to see the guy Don. I said, mate, you know I am. For some reason, and I don't really know why, the smelly wee guard didn't like my reply. I tell you what, you're lucky I've got things to do. The number one being I've gotta get my brew.
Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Who'd have thought that I'd be working so long? Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. It wouldn't feel right if I didn't sign on.
Don, my work coach, what's the crack with your life? Are you all good, my mate? Tell me, how's your wife? He looked at me like I had been doing the double and that I turned myself in just to get out of trouble. He said I don't quite like your attitude now, but I'm just a wee soul whose goal is to get dole. I know you're thinking to yourself, what's in his plate? But mate, do I look like I wanna have a fight? You remind me of my bosses just let me go, and all because I missed 3 whole days in a row. See, he rang me up and told me that we'll get you back in, and I said, will you wind your neck in? Let's start again, Don, I'm just very excited. If I had a wee party, you'd well be invited. On your wee computer there's a part that says claim. Make sure you write word in the space beside name.
Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Who'd have thought that I'd be working so long? Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. Back on the dole again, the dole again. It wouldn't feel right if I didn't sign on.
Well there, tell you what, the dole's some crack at it. Can't beat this. Getting paid for nabbing.